Justin got out of the Marines, Marine veteran, but he has friends that are Marines currently, and he says they're waking up. They don't buy the Navy SEALs. Helicopter going down. Please continue.
Sorry, it was James, not Justin.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The phone system says Justin, and that's I love Harmon, but he loves to torture me by putting the wrong name in there. I'm just joking.
Yeah, a lot of the military veterans, every one of them I know is like, forget this. This is a joke. Air Force, Navy, Marines especially the Marines. And the Marines that are still in, they're all waking up. We're all contacting our friends. I predicted the Anders Breivik. I told my friends in the military, hey, they're going to stage white terror attacks over in Europe, and then they're going to start doing them in the U.S. It happened. They texted me. They're all believing me now. And I'm telling you, the U.S. military is waking up, and they screwed with the wrong people.
Well, and by the way, it wasn't Harmon messed up. They've got a new phone system that's all computerized and fancy. And I went to James. There is a Justin. You're James in Arizona. I'm going to Justin in California in a little while. So I apologize for getting that wrong. But I want to go back to what you just said, because that's big. Because we laid out their battle plan in their internal memos that leaked and others, that they were going to stage attacks. I said probably in Europe first, say that right-wingers were doing it so they could continue to destroy Europe's sovereignty and absorb it into the multicultural EU controlled by the bankers, who will then play the different groups off against each other. As soon as they've got enough foreigners in to be able to checkmate the indigenous populations, they'll shut the borders down. It's all part of a balanced divide and conquer. You're saying that you warned your military buddies about that, then they saw it happen, and that really woke them up?
Yes, that's correct. I repeated it word for word. I said they were going to do right-wing attacks in Europe, and I said that they're going to start piping it over here in the U.S., and they're seeing it. A lot of them are minorities. A lot of them are like Hispanic or whatever, and they're all like, yeah, man, this is messed up, and they're starting to learn the Constitution, and they're talking about it amongst their friends. And the Marines are especially ticked off with the don't ask, don't tell stuff, but that's a personal issue. And it really, they've really messed up. They overplayed their hand. Nobody's buying it anymore, and a lot of people are even waking up to Perry and the right wing and all these Bushites running around too. So we've done pretty good in waking people up, and they're starting to see it, because I've been just bashing the message out there, and a lot of former military, and I see why the DHS is so afraid of former military, because we're trained, we're smart, and guess what? We're the first ones that wake up, and we're getting the message out there.
Well, that is the thing. People join the military because they want to make a difference. They want to stand up against evil. They have that warrior spirit to defend and follow that instinct. The problem is then you join a system at the top controlled by the globalist, then you wake up to that. Now you're the threat. You're not like these yuppies that just want to act cool all day and, go surfing or play golf. And I'm not saying playing golf or surfing's bad. I like it as much as the next person. The point is that's all they want to do. They're not going to stand up and speak out. And they know it's the military type who does have the initiative and is trained to take action, and they're scared to death of you. God bless you. James in Arizona, good to hear from you. All right. When we come back, Evan in Michigan, John in Pennsylvania, Raul in Florida, and Justin in California, and others. The toll-free number to join us. I'd like to hear from some police officers on this. Did I not tell you they were going to switch it from Al-Qaeda to the Tea Party? And now you're seeing it. I told you. We'll be right back. If you missed the last caller, in the last few years, he told all his Marine Corps buddies, he said, you watch, they're going to start staging right-wing attacks in Europe, then they'll come to the United States to blame the Tea Party. They're going to rebrand the war on terror onto constitutionalist, Ron Paul supporters. And now that it indeed is happening exactly as I said it would, he said the military is really waking up and freaking out. You see, it's our power to research history, to study the globalist. It's our capacity to truly grasp reality. It's not that hard once you start doing it. That's what's so scary about this. The power of analysis that I have is not hard. You've just got to be willing to face reality, study history. And after you've studied this for a few years in depth and learned what's real from false, and then it becomes just absolutely more and more transparent. It's like a pair of binoculars, and you're looking at a deer 200 yards away, and you put them up to your eyes. You got to focus them. You got to get them set for the spacing of your eyes. And then as you roll the focus lever, and the zoom lever, it comes right into focus. You're like, wow, how did I not see that before? You can even see a fly, sitting on the deer's ear. You can see it twitch its ear and the fly away. A couple nights ago, I was watching deer through binoculars, hence the analogy. And it's that simple. You just got to bring things into focus, and the mainstream media is designed to not bring it into focus. People then say, well, Alex, why do you then cover mainstream media? Well, they'll come out and say that stock prices are plunging, and they'll give you some false reason for why it's happening. But then buried in the article, they'll admit also on inflation fears. So more and more, the information's there. It's just the way they spin it. There's different types of stuff. There's outright lies that the media engages in, like when they said that Rand Paul wasn't a medical doctor, or when they said he kidnapped women. Those were outright dirty trick lies. But then there's other types of deception where they lie by omission, where they only tell you part of the story, or they spin the information that's there. And so one of the biggest things that people detract from the show is they say, Jones says don't trust the mainstream media, but he quotes from it all day. Well, yeah, of course I do. I'll take a press release by Homeland Security and a video where they say, hey, we're trying to keep you safe. Here's a new PSA. And we take their own information and say, look at what this is really saying. See, it's called discernment. It's called analysis. We analyze what they're doing. So they outright lie, they spin, they obfuscate, they flip-flop, but they also sometimes tell the truth, especially if it's an issue of little or no significance. Let's go ahead and take more calls here. Let's talk to Evan in Michigan. Thanks for holding her on the air.
Hi, Alex. I just want to thank you and commend you for what you did versus Rush Limbaugh, that pathetic loser. I'm a member in the Navy right now, and I'm actually taking initiatives since I've heard the last caller, educating his fellow Marines. I'm going to take the same initiative and educate my fellow Navy members around me. A lot of them, they're going to get deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan this year, so sadly, but I'm going to tell them that they're not going to turn against their citizens. And, it's wonderful, to hear that you are a voice of reason in there for us, for all of us.
Well, by the way, I'm just one person. I'm just a small focal point in the larger fabric that's humanity. But the fact that Ron Paul is the main front runner shows how far the movement for liberty's come. The fact that Rick Perry has to talk about the Federal Reserve as being treasonous, that shows how far we've come. The fact that in city after city we get top ratings, not just in talk radio, but even in music or total listening audience, shows that these ideas are popular. The fact that Ron Paul, last election and now again this election, and we've posted the mainstream articles about this, has gotten more contributions than all other Republicans combined from the military. He's gotten more than Obama has gotten. So that right there is an example that our military is awake, and that's why Homeland Security says the #1 terror threat is our military.
Yeah, it's true. I don't doubt it for a minute. And I'm one of them that who's been donating for Ron Paul's campaign since 2007. I'm even taking it to further level. I'm educating all my members about Ron Paul, and they keep asking me, "Who's Ron Paul?" I said, "Ron Paul is a constitutionalist. He's been running for presidency a long time. And he's the most consistent American who's been spreading the message of liberty, peace, and sound money."
Well, he's not even the most consistent. He is the most consistent because he's 100% consistent. If somebody else was 100% consistent, and I didn't even totally agree with their policies, but overall they were good, I would vote for them. It's ridiculous how good he is. It's ridiculous how accurate he's been, how informed he is, how dedicated, how stoic, how focused, how incredibly energetic he is. It is a joke. It is so archetypal that he's the man of the hour. Right as America is faced with total global government, total police state, total implosion, we have a chance to elect him. I mean, again, that's how the universe works. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And this is our chance. God bless you. I appreciate your call, Evan. Now, I'm asking people out there, I'm asking listeners out there, military, former police, current police, former military, what do you think of the rebranding that the terrorists aren't al-Qaeda anymore? It's that veteran. It's that gun owner. It's that farmer. It's that Ron Paul supporter. It's that white person. Whites are the new al-Qaeda. And I told you this was coming. I saw it in the internal memos years ago that were leaked to us. Now they're going public because they're getting ready to start the provocateur events and the purely staged events. They're going to find mentally ill, ex-prisoner white people that they're going to recruit in and lead to try to get them to blow up a school bus or something, or bomb a federal building. If they can find idiots, they'll do it that way. That'll be FBI run, always is. But if they have to, they're going to call in contractors who just do it on their own. Then they'll just drug up somebody, some ex-con or something who's a Ron Paul supporter. It's coming. It's coming. Okay? I mean, just to keep Rand from becoming senator, they said he was kidnapping women. Okay? And then he wasn't a medical doctor. Okay? It was all lies. They're now announcing they're going to play the race car on Ron Paul. Politico is. With the same bull about the dozens and dozens of newsletters that he lent his name to pre-popularity of the internet. And I noticed the publications in the last election never quoted him. They would just say these newsletters are full of racism and homophobia. And then I actually went and found the newsletters, and it would be stuff like, blacks have become dependent to the welfare state. This is terrible. It's destroyed their communities. How is that racist? Everybody's becoming dependent. Or homosexuals are trying to recruit in the schools. That's homophobic? I mean, don't recruit sexually, period, in the schools. And it was other writers, too. It wasn't even... I mean, the point is, they're now going to that attack pattern. But if you notice the Politico article, and I shot a video about this yesterday, headlined, Media Plays Race Card Against Ron Paul, it just says, this publication says Ron Paul did this. And then you go to that publication... They have no quotes. They have nothing. They just tell you. He's not a doctor. He hurts little kittens. They're scared, folks. They're scared, which is all the evidence you need of how good he is.